Hi. Being bilingual or multilingual offers significant cognitive and social advantages. One of the main cognitive benefits is enhanced executive function. The constant mental juggling of two or more language systems strengthens the brain's ability to focus, multitask, and switch between tasks. This cognitive flexibility can lead to better problem solving skills and a greater ability to filter out distractions. A study from the University of California, Berkeley, found that multilingual individuals often outperform monolinguals on tasks requiring this kind of mental agility. This is the point made in our textbook, Intercultural Communication in Context by Martin and Nakayama. However, multilingualism also presents some challenges. One of the most common is code switching, which is when a speaker alternates between two or more languages in the same conversation. For example, a Spanish English bilingual might start a sentence in English and finish it in Spanish. While this can be a useful tool for communication within a community, it can also create a barrier for monolingual speakers who may feel excluded or unable to follow the conversation. Another challenge is the potential for cultural identity confusion, especially for second generation immigrants. They may feel they are not fully part of their parents' culture, nor are they fully integrated into the dominant culture. This can lead to a sense of in betweenness, as discussed in Chapter 1 of our textbook. Code switching can be a strategic and appropriate communication tool. It is most often used in contexts where all participants are familiar with both languages. It can be used to express a sense of group identity and solidarity, or to show a level of intimacy and shared experience. It can also be used to express concepts that are more easily articulated in one language or another than another. For instance, a speaker might use a term for their native language for which there is no direct English equivalent, or to add emotional emphasis to a statement. Co-cultures, or groups of people who share a common identity within a dominant culture, adapt to the dominant communication style in various ways. One way is assimilation, where a group tries to completely adopt the dominant culture's communication styles and norms. Another strategy is accommodation, which involves adapting one's communication to be more like the other person's, without fully giving up one's own style. This can be seen in a person who speaks with a slight accent but uses the grammar and vocabulary of the dominant language. A third approach is separation, where a group resists the dominant communication style and maintains their own, often to preserve their cultural identity. My personal communication style is low context. I tend to be very direct and explicit in my communication, relying on the verbal message rather than nonverbal cues or shared history. I value clarity and precision in my language. For example, when I ask a question, I prefer a direct answer rather than a response that requires me to infer the meaning. This style is often associated with cultures that are individualistic and value efficiency, as noted in Martin Nakayama's textbook. My cultural rules concerning silence and public forms of speech are also in line with a low context communication style. I see silence as a sign of a pause, or as an indication that someone has finished speaking. In public forms of speech, I feel it is important to be clear, concise, and to the point. I believe public speaking should be well structured and logical. Silence can be a sign of a problem, or that someone has nothing to add, rather than a space to be filled with nonverbal cues or shared understanding. This contrasts with high context cultures where silence can be used as a form of communication to convey respect or to show that one is listening and thinking. For example, in some Asian cultures, silence is a sign of respect for a speaker, but for me, a speaker pausing for a long time without saying anything would feel uncomfortable. Thanks.